Oh, the number went high. You were 47. That was the highest number I saw. Now it has dropped to 28. Wow. Doesn't mean the rest are still writing.
This is 38.
Or
38.
is it 38? Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
So people are still writing. Oh,
Wow. 39 now. Okay, so we agreed on 7 o'clock. They decided to forfeit the lecture for that. Okay, so we are talking about grouped data. Sometimes the data elements will be so many that you cannot deal with them individually. There will be the need for you to put them into groups. And we already discussed how to form your groups, how to estimate the total number of groups, how to find the class size or the size of each group. So now, for the mean, what we have been doing so far can be represented with the with what you are seeing on the page. Bar x is the mean, is the first value of x plus second value of x plus third value of x. You add them as to the nth value. So if there are 70 values of x, then the n will be 70. So you add them 1, 1, 1, 1 until the 70th one. Then you divide by 70. Those joining late are causing the problem. Right. So you divide by the total number of them. The same thing you are seeing x plus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3, sorry, x1 plus x2 plus x3 up to xn. It's the same thing you are seeing there simplified. Summation x, actually it should be xi, where I ranges from 1 to n, then divided by n. Then you have your mean. You have your mean. So what we have been doing is the same thing we have written here. It's the same thing. But what we are going to do now, we'll wear a different uniform. So if you have a grouped data, or you have your data put into various groups, let me know if my voice is going down. I'm trying to use 2 devices so that if this one is disappointing, I'll quickly, in a matter of seconds, so if you put your data into groups, this is rather worse. This is what I want to do. What you have to do is that you find the class midpoint. I told you earlier that the reason we learn to find class midpoint, we are going to meet it ahead. And here it is. The class midpoints are representing each class. So for the first class, you are seeing the 1 to 10. We find the class midpoint by adding 1 to 10. Then we have 11 divided by 2. Then we have 5.5. That's the class midpoint. The second one, we add 11 to 20. We have 30 divided by 2 gives you 15.5. The third class has 21 to 30. You add 21 to 30, you have 51. You divide by 2, or you find the average, you have 25.5. So now we are done with the class. We are now going to concentrate on the frequency and the class midpoint. Remember, in your we did an example of a table. I think it also came in your quiz. What do if you have the frequency? Now the midpoint is representing the classes. Remember that one very well. So here we are trying to say that the class represented by 5.5, in other words, 5.5 occurs 2 times. 15.5 occurs 7 times. 25.5 occurs 10 times. So what do? We'll have to add 5.5 to another 5.5. Then we add 15.5 7 times. And we add 25.5 10 times. Then we divide by the total number of them. But that will make it too cumbersome. I mean, it will be too complicated, too needless. So what do? You use the frequency to multiply the data. In this case, the class midpoint. So 2 will multiply 5.5, you have 11. 7 will multiply 15.5, you have 108.5. 10 will multiply 25.5, you have 255. And the total frequency is 19. So the individual numbers in the data are 19 that were put into groups. So when you add f of m, that is, we use frequency to multiply class midpoint, we have those figures there. Then you divide all of them, and that is what we refer to as what? Summation f of m. Summation f of m, or fm. Then we divide that by n. Note that n is the same as summation f. I said it severally. Our n, as we are seeing in the formula there, is the same as summation f. Okay. That is to say, the individual numbers that constitute the data set. Okay. So summation f is the same as n. So you sum fm and divide by n, which is 19 in this case. So when you divide 374.5 by 19, you are getting 19.7105. Now, if you are not told, if you are doing calculation, you are not told. In your calculation, you can use maximum 4 decimal places. By your final answer, you can leave it in 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places. In most cases, the question will say leave your answer in so and so decimal places. Okay, no question. We go to the mode. We also said the mode for a group data is the number that occurs most frequently. Is the number that occurs most frequently in a data. So in the data, small data there, you have 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, and yeah, 5. So the mode for that small data is what? 3, because 3 alone occurs 1, 2, 3 times. So it's the highest, is the one with the highest frequency. So 3 is the mode. That is when the numbers are single, single, single. You can just look at it, and I mean, you can construct a frequency table, and you tell the one that occurs most frequently as your mode. Now, the question is, what if it's put into groups? If the data is put into groups, let's pay attention very well. Let's pay attention very well. We can find the mode with a formula that is going to show very soon. But we have to look for certain things. One, the modal class is highlighted. The modal class is a class with the highest frequency. Please, this the modal class is the mode. No, the class with the highest frequency is the modal class. Modal class here means that the mode is within this class because the highest frequency is here. So the mode is within the class. So we don't know whether it's 21. We don't know whether it's 22. We don't know whether it's 20 or up to 30. Somebody is still not. How did that happen? Okay, so Emmanuel, is he online at all? Um, how did he do that? Mm, okay, I've done it. I've done it, so that's fine. We wasted the time explaining the question, so I didn't do certain things under settings. Okay, so we have to look for the modal class, and I'm saying the modal class is the class with the highest frequency. So when you look at the frequency, there we have 2, 7, 10, 3, and 1. So the highest frequency there is 10, and it corresponds to what? 20, 21 to 30. So that tells you that the mode is hiding in that class. So we refer to that class as what? The modal class. It's not the mode. The mode is just hiding in the class. So we are going to estimate it. We are going to use mathematical formula to look for the mode or what is likely to be the mode. So First, you identify the modal class. Now, so we can now estimate the mode with the formula you are seeing here. So the mode or the estimated mode is what? L plus, we have numerator F sub m minus F of sub m minus 1 all over F minus F of m minus F of m minus 1. No, F sub is subscript. It's not multiply, it's a subscript. F subscript m minus F subscript m minus 1 in a bracket plus F subscript m minus F subscript m plus 1 all multiplied by W. What at all do these things mean? Why this confusion this night? This thing is very easy to memorize, but I will not bother you memorizing this formula. All things being equal, I'll quote the formula for you on the exam question paper. So it's now your responsibility to know how to use it or to understand the variables that constitute the formula and to know where to pick what. So pay attention very, very, very well. You can memorize the formula if you like. Look at it. The numerator, Fm minus Fm minus 1, is the same thing at the left-hand side in the denominator, Fm minus Fm minus 1. Then plus. When you bring the plus, it's the same Fm minus 1, but the second one, it will be m plus 1. That is how you learn. When you analyze the formula very well, you will see that there is something simple, a very simple way of memorizing it. We have formulas that are longer and more clumsy than this. But the good news is that all things being equal, if nothing goes wrong, I know by the time we'll be doing revision, somebody will remind me, and I'll surely remember. I'll code the formula for you so that you will now prove to me that you know how to apply it. So what does it mean? The L, the lower class boundary of the modal class. The lower class boundary of the modal class. There is difference between the boundary and the limit. So L, let's come down here. We know the modal class to be what? 21 to 30. That is it. 21 to 30. That is the modal class. So what is the lower class boundary? We take 0.5 away from what? 21. So that gives you what? 20.5. 21 minus 0.5 gives you 20.5. So that is our L. Let's go to Fm minus 1. Fm minus 1 is what? The frequency of the group before the modal class. So which class comes before the modal class? Let's go there. This is the modal class. 21 to 30 is the modal class. So the class coming before the modal class is 11 to 20. So they are saying its frequency. Its frequency is what? Fm minus 1. So let me use the opportunity to explain Fm plus 1. So the Fm means frequency of the modal class. Minus 1 means frequency of the class before the modal class. +1 means frequency of the class after the modal class. That's the meaning of this thing. This is frequency of the modal class. Then frequency of the class before the modal class. And this one means what? Frequency of the class after the modal class. That is all we are doing. Somebody is joining. Is joining. Atasamia.
Yeah, sir. Please, I wanted you to pause because if you continue, there will be damages. Please go back and start from the lower class where you started that calculation, and then from there, relax for us. I want you to go slow, otherwise there will be damages because I'm confused.
Don't worry. Don't worry, I'm going to spend my time here to explain it. So, Fm minus 1 is what? The frequency of the group before the modal class. So, before is the -1. Then Fm itself is what? The frequency of the modal class. Then Fm plus 1 is the frequency of the group after the modal class. So let's go back there to the table. What is the modal class? 21 to 30. What is its frequency? The frequency is 10. What is the class before the modal class? That is 11 to 20. That's the modal class. What is the frequency of the class before the modal class? The frequency is 7. What is the class after the modal class? Is 31 to 40. What is its corresponding frequency? Is 3. So that's all we are doing now. So the Fm is the frequency of the modal class. But the class, my your back here. So we have everything here. L, the lower class boundary of the modal class. Modal class is what? 21 to 30. So 21 minus 0.5 gives you 20.5. That's the lower class. The class before the modal class has a frequency of 7. The modal class itself has a frequency of 10. The class after the modal class has a frequency of 3. Then W is what? The class width or the class size. The class width or the class size. And we already did that. Class width, you say you take the lower class boundary from the upper class boundary. Even if you don't do that, you can do 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. There are 10 numbers there. So the class size is what? 10. The class size is 10. So once you are able to get all these things, you just go back and put them into the formula one after the other. Then the rest, you use calculator and punch everything. You're gone. I will not ask if there is any question because before I even stop briefing, before I even brief out, somebody already said I should go over the whole show. Please don't allow this thing to confuse you. It's nothing difficult. It's just what do you call it? Take your time and look at it very well.
Sir, you know one thing.
all of us, about 95% are practitioners on the field, adults, parents. So when these things, if it can be reduced to the practical level, as if we are in the we are in the facility, and then you are demonstrating this mathematical component in the practice level, I think we will grasp it more than raw state like that, because the brain at this stage is really hot. It's really hot. Some people are still driving on the way yet hearing lectures. Thank
So
you.
we pass the practical level. The practical level is you collecting the data. Now you have your data. You have to manipulate the data to get information out of it. You are manipulating the data to get information out of it. All you want is the data should communicate something to you, which will help you take a decision. So how you play around the data is what we are doing. I already told you, if we want to take this thing critically, what you should be doing will be several times ahead of this. But there is no need building a house if you don't have a foundation. So you just have to grab these things very well. I am not speeding at all. I'm taking my time to explain it. I'm not saying go and memorize any formula. There was a time there was a batch for them, they had to memorize their own formula. But along the line, I was like, no, you have the tool in hand. How to use it should be the problem. So some of the excuses, if you allow them to manipulate your brain, you always be going back. This is the assumption is you have done it some years ago. So you did it, that one, it was chew and poor. Now we are making use of them on the field. We assume you have collected your data, the data is there. Every blessed day you collect data, patient's history, patient whatever, patient's biodata, everything. You take the BP of the patient, you use your Sphinx to take the BP. You are having all that. It's just there. It's not, it doesn't make any meaning to you. So we are now going to use what you have collected. Some of you are using systems that you use to capture this data. Some of you are still in the paper business. You have your registers, you let your staff register them, they take the information, you take their BP, you do their BMI, you collect all this information and put on paper, or you store them in a device, and that ends it. So you have already collected the data. What can we do with the data? Is what we are doing now. Which condition has reported most? Which systolic has been recorded most? Which diastolic has been recorded most? Maybe you are measuring the sugar level of your patients. Which one has been recorded most? You need some of these things to take certain decisions. And the data as it is on your computer or in your books cannot tell you anything unless you play around it the way we are doing. So there is no other practical way of demonstrating this than I'm doing now. So just take your time. there are other topics that are ahead of us will be doing. And I can assure you, if you regularly attend this lecture, you pay attention, you are not the type who just log in and walk away and be doing your own things. If you pay attention very well, you will still make it. You will still make it. Don't allow the so-called challenges to draw you back from the masses. Don't allow it. And keep telling yourself that once somebody is able to do it, you will also do it. So I'm very patient, slow enough for you. If you want me to repeat and repeat, I'm repeating and repeating for you. But the next thing is for you to practice. The next thing is for you to practice. And the good news is that you have all these things online. You can just Google these things. You go to YouTube. They will play it there for you. You play it and they will do the online lecture for you. You will get it. But the most important thing is if you keep listening. Somebody just said you did a tutorial and it really helped you in the quiz you just wrote. If you are just listening, you are not practicing, it won't get there. So just squeeze more time to give value to your certificate. Don't allow the excuses to draw you back. You will make it. Scientists say we have been using a very, very little part of the brain. The brain can do millions of things in a minute. But we have been using a very little part of it. So don't worry, there is no other practical way of demonstrating what we are doing. The practical aspect is the data collection, which you all have. And you see, people are now entering. It means all that I've said, they miss them. Okay, back to the formula again. L plus. So we are assuming that we are in exam hall. I'll just put the formula. Here. No. That one I won't give you. You should know that this FM means what? Frequency of the modal class. FM minus 1. Frequency of the class before the modal class. The same thing here. Frequency of the modal class. Frequency of the class before the modal class. Then you come here. Frequency of the modal class minus frequency of the class before or after the modal class. So you see that frequency of the modal class is repeating, is here, and it's also here. The rest is subtraction of before the modal class or subtraction of after the modal class. Then we are saying the W is what? The class size or the class width. And I told you the class width, what you can do is to subtract the lower class boundary from the upper class boundary. Even if you forget, just remember the size of the class. What is the class? The class is here. The class is here. So 1 to 10. How many numbers can be here? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 different numbers that can be there. I'm not asking you to prove or to show formula for calculating the class size. You can just quote it that this is the class size. That's not a problem. You can equally do it. 30.5 minus 20.5. If it's a uniform class, you can use any of the class. You can take 10.5 minus 0.5. That will also give you 10. 50.5 minus 40.5. It will give you the same 10. So your W is a class size. And you just put this one there, lower class limit, lower class boundary of the modal class. That is 20.5. You put it here. Frequency of the modal class, and that is 10. You put it here. Frequency of the class before the modal class is 7. Then you repeat the same thing. Frequency of the modal class, 10. Frequency of the class before the modal class, 7. Frequency of the, then plus here, frequency of the modal class, and that is 10. Then frequency of the class after the modal class, and that is 3. The rest is the use of your own calculation. You have the class width of 10. That one is multiplying. If you give all things, if you know how to use your calculator well, if you give all these things to calculator at a go and just press equal to, it will give you the answer straight away. You don't have to waste your time. The most important thing is you substitute the figures correctly. After substituting correctly, use your calculator to punch it and it will give you the right answer. But if you don't know how to use your calculator, then you must do the numerator separately, do the denominator separately, and use the denominator to divide the numerator. After that, the answer, you use it to multiply the 10, which is the W. Whatever you get, you now add it to the lower class boundary of the modal class. And that gives you, so this is what we have done. Another way of looking at it, we are only playing, all that we are doing, we are only playing about around 7, 10, and 3. 7, 10, and 3. So if you know the modal class to be the class with the highest class, then know that you are going to use 7, you are going to use 10, you are going to use 3, and know where to put them. And if the question changes and the frequency changes, the first thing to do is to look for the modal class, the class with the highest frequency. Then before the highest frequency and after the highest frequency, they are the things you are going to put in this formula, and the rest is calculator, punch, and you are gone. Please, is practice. Any other question? Any question again? Okay. That means I can go ahead. So we've come to the median. We already said if you have a set of numbers and you are to find the median, all you have to do is to arrange the number, the set of numbers from the smallest to the biggest, or from the biggest to the smallest. If you do that, count them and look for the one at the exact middle. If you have only one number at the middle, pick that number and call it your median. If you have 2 numbers at the middle, find the average of them. That is, add the 2 numbers and divide by 2. And whatever you get, call it your median. If you do it perfectly, you're good to go. So the question is, what about if the data is so large that we have to put the data into group? Then the star changes. We have brought the same table. Now, this is the formula we use for median. Once you have this formula, I'll still quote this one too for you. I'll quote it for you on your exam paper. Then I have done my part. I have bought a calculator for you. You don't have to come and tell me that I should come and help you punch the numbers on it. No. Once you have the formula, know how to use it, and you're good to go. So, if this is the median, what do the alphabets there or the variables there, what do they mean? L is the lower class limit of the median class, which means we still have to get what? A class called the median class. N is the total frequency or summation F. C is the cumulative frequency of all the classes that come before the median class. As usual, our F is the frequency of the median class. Okay, so in some cases, I did it FM. Now, how do we get the median class? For the median class, you are going to add all the frequencies. 2 plus 7, that gives you 9, plus 10, 19, plus 3, 22, plus 1, and that is 23. And divide by 2. The median class is the class that contains the value located at what? N over 2. N over 2. So when we divide 23 by 2, what do we get? We are getting what? 21.
11.5.
Sorry, 11.5. Right? Okay. Pay attention very well. 1, we are adding all the frequencies. 2, we divide by 2. What answer we get, this is what we are going to do. We now got 11.5 as the quotient when we divide 23 by 2. We'll now start adding the frequency one after the other. The one that gives us 11.5 or more than 11.5 will stop there. That is the median class. I repeat that statement. First, we are looking for median class, or the class that contains the median. As for the mode, it was easy. We only said the number, the class that has the highest frequency. That's the modal class. Now, we are talking about the median. So we are saying to get the median class, 1, add all the frequencies. In this case, we have 2, 7, 10, 3, and 1. When you add all of them, you are getting 23. Divide by 2, constant. You are getting 11.5. Now, we are going to look for the median class. We'll be adding these numbers under the frequency. We'll be adding them until we get exactly 11.5 or a number that is higher than 11.5. Then we'll stop there. So we start 2 plus 7, that gives you 9. 9 plus 10, that gives you 19. And 19 is already more than 11.5. So we'll stop there. Therefore, the median class is the same class that is the modal class. the median class is 21 to 30. That's the median class. Okay, after that, what are we supposed to do? Total frequency, we got it already. So the lower class limit, note that here we are talking about limit and not boundary. The numbers on the left side are lower limits. The numbers on the right side are upper class limits. If we add 0.5 to the numbers at the right hand side, we have upper class boundary. If we add 0.5 to all the numbers at the right side, we have upper class boundary. If we subtract 0.5 from all the numbers on the left side, the results we are going to get are all lower class boundary. This is just a revision. But we are talking about the limit. The limit. So the numbers on the left side are lower class limit. Those on the right side are upper class limit. So we are saying L is the lower limit of the median class. So the median class is 21 to 30. And the lower limit is 21. So we've gotten our L already. N is the total frequency, that's summation F. Then we have cumulative frequency of all the classes before the median class. So this is the median class. The frequencies before the median class are 2 and 7. So we have to add them. That's the cumulative frequency before the median class. So we are adding 2 to 7, and that gives you what? 9. So we have our C. Then F is the frequency of the median class. I should have made it F sub M. So now we have all these things. We have our L, we have our N, we have our C, we have our F. You just put them here and you punch it on calculator. You can input everything like this on the calculator and you are going. You are good to go. So if you put everything here, that's the N, you have your 2 minus 9, you have the 10, and if you punch everything and add to this one, you're gonna get 20.6714. So your final answer, you can quote 20.67, that's fine. Even if the question didn't state it, you can quote 20.67. Any question about this one? Any question?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Good.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much for that. I wanted to just wondering if you could just cite a simple
Yeah,
example. Can you hear me?
hello?
Okay.
Just-
Can you hear?
yeah,
Is it
just
better?
give me just 10 seconds.
Sure.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Come
So
again, please.
yes, I was just asking if you could give a practical example of where we could apply these calculations. I don't know if I'm asking a correct question, but I'm just trying to, while I'm listening, I'm trying to think of how I would apply this. Thank you.
That is fine. Were you in the very first class?
I think so. I only missed one class. I don't remember which one. I don't know if it was this subject, but I've attended all classes.
I see. Okay. In that class, I try to explain everything. I try to give examples. I try to give where some of these things are applicable. And I also indicated that you can equally go online and find where you can apply all these things.
Okay, I'll do that.
But I don't want to, at least let me help you. All I'm trying to say is that it depends on what you want to do. It depends on what investigation you want to arrive at. It depends on the research questions that you have. It depends on which hypothesis you want to test. Now, we have already learned all these things. And here, if we want to start from collection of data, okay, let's all have our what do you call it? BP, the BP readings. Let's have all the systolic. Let's have all the diastolic. Let's have whatever. You collect different data. Now, I also indicated that if there is a need for you to find an average of a group of numbers, say a data that you collect, you want to find an average. And you realize that there is an outlier. Maybe we are talking about the ages of your clients, and you collect data on all the ages, all the clients that visited your facility in a particular month. And you want to average age and use to take any form of decision you want to. Now, when you use the mean, and there happens to be an outlier is a figure that is extremely higher than majority. Let's say the ages of your patients that you took ranges between, the age range between 20 and 40. You have a lot of 25, you have a lot of 28, you have a lot of 23, you have some 30, you have 38, you have 40, occurring like that. And all of a sudden, boom, you are having a client that has the age of 98 years. So to find the average of these ages, you have to add all the numbers from 20 to 40 and also include the 98 in it. Because of the gap from 40, which is the highest number for the masses, to 98, look at that gap. This 98 is going to give a wrong mean for you to use. It's going to give you a mean that will skew towards the higher side. So if you use that mean, you have not used, whatever decision you take will not favor majority. It will only favor those who are at the higher side, and for that matter, that highest number, it will not favor the masses. So instead of using mean for a data set that has an outlier, use the median. Use the median. Because the median, you are only arranging the numbers from smallest to the highest, and look for the one in the middle. So whether a number is too low or a number is too high, it will not affect it. Mind you, when we say the outlier, it's not only the higher side. We can also talk about the lower side. Let's still think that the ages of your clients range between 30 and 40. And they are all 50. So some are 30, 31, 32, up to 40. Then all of a sudden, you meet an age that is 2. Somebody, a client, they brought a baby that is 2 years old. You have to include it in the calculation. So if you include the 2 is going to pull your mean down. If the mean should be around 35, the 2 can bring it to 30, the 2 can even bring it to 20, which never existed in the data. So in that case, the mean, all these things, we call them the central tendency. The mean is not useful in this data set with an outlier. So you have to use a different tool to get a number that will be used to represent, or that will be considered as the average. And that number is the median we are talking about. In actual fact, when you calculate the mean, the median, and the mode of a data set, if there is no outlier, all these figures, the mean, median, mode, they are just around each other. They are not too far from each other. That is why when we find the modal class, we got 21 to 30. When we find the median class, we still got what? 21 to 30. So when we calculate the mean, it will be in that class. When we calculate the median, it will also be in that class. And the mode is also there, or the mean, yeah. They all belong to that class. So depending on what you want to use the average for, I am only guiding you that in case you have a very large data, you have so many patients, or maybe your drugs on the shelf, you took some statistics of it, and you have it in the form of numbers like this, and you want to take a decision around the average. When there is an outlier, don't use the mean. So I am only giving you a tool and a knowledge that if there is an outlier and you use the mean, what you are going to get as a mean will not be a true mean for majority of the data set. You are going to get a value that will be skewed towards one side. And that will not help the decision you will take. You surely have problems with whatever decision you take. So instead, you have to use the median to get something that will be the average for you. And that one, every element of the data will be favored, given that you've done the right thing. I hope I've said enough and you've gotten a little picture. So here it is. L, the lower class limits of the median class. The N is the total frequency, or summation F. In the formula, you can even represent the N with summation F. It doesn't change anything. C is the cumulative frequency we talked about of the classes before the median class. And F is the frequency of the median class. When you put all together, you are going to get a value that will represent all the values, the data you collected, ranging from 1 to 50. You are going to get just one number that will be considered as the central tendency, or the what do you call it? Yes. So we are having 20.67. So if you take 20.67 7 to take a decision for all the ages, for all the systolic, for all the weights, all the height, all the whatever data you collected, you are still in a very fertile ground to achieving something reasonable. That is all I'm trying to say. So class interval. These are just vocabularies for you to learn. 1 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 to 30. And they have their corresponding frequencies. We spoke at length about class boundary. The class boundary, the upper class boundary. Ideally, to get the class boundary, you add this 10 to the 11 and divide by 2. That is to say, you find the average for the 2. No, you find the difference and divide by 2. When you find the difference and divide by 2, you will get 0.5, which you have to be adding or subtracting. But all the same, if you have 10 to 11, you get 21. If you divide by 2, that gives you 10.5. So 10.5 becomes the upper class boundary for this one. 10.5 becomes the lower class boundary for this one. Then you come here, 20 plus 21, it gives you 41. You divide by 2, that gives you 20.5. So 20.5 becomes upper class boundary here, lower class boundary here. So to make it simple, add 0.5 to the right side, subtract 0.5 to the left side. You are gone. You have your class boundary. So that is what we have done here. It's the same thing. I'm repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. Class size. So you first find the class boundary. Then you subtract 0.5 from 10.5. You are going to get 10. You subtract 10.5 from 20.5, you get the same 10. You subtract 20.5 from 30.5, you are getting the same 10. And I told you another way to do it is to count the numbers that belong to this class. How many numbers belong here? You have a number starting from 1 to 10. So there are 10 numbers. So that's the size of the class. You have a number starting from 11 to 20. There are 10 numbers. You have a number starting from 21 to 30. You have 10 numbers. So that gives you the size of the class. In this case, you have a uniform class. If we want to take you high, we can vary it, but just focus on this one. And it's the same thing that will come in exam. I won't vary the class sizes. You will have the same uniform class. Any questions so far on this one?
Yeah, thank you, Don. In the final answer, that is the estimate mode, I realized that I calculated it from my calculator. I have about 20.7 decimal places. So you reduce it to 4 decimal places. Is that the requirement, or an instruction will be given to the number of decimal places you have to reduce the answer to?
Yes, I said it. I said that the question will tell you, leaving your answer in 2 decimal places, leaving your answer in 3 decimal places, 4 decimal places. But if the question is not giving you that instruction, if the question is silent on the number of decimal places, just use 4 decimal places in calculation. But in the final answer, you can leave it in 2 decimal places. The most important thing is
thank you.
before the decimal place, whatever you have there, everybody will get it. Just that when you come to after the decimal point, there will be some variations, and I will look at your work. Once you go through the proper steps and you get it, if it's 0.5 difference kind of answers, that is not a problem at all. You score your mark. Rest assured of that. But the most important thing is do the right thing. If you just do something, for instance, if you have the numerator here to be 7 minus 10, and you magically got the same answer, 22 point whatever, massa, once the procedure is wrong, the answer must be wrong. That's one thing about calculation. You can get the procedure perfect and the answer is wrong. That one you score mark up to where the procedure takes you to. But you lose mark for the answer. But if the procedure is wrong, instead of 10 minus 7, you put 7 minus 10. Or instead of 10 plus 3, you did 10 minus 3. There is no way, all things being equal, there is no way you get the same answer. And since you will not get the same answer, if you manage to write something here and come and quote the correct answer for me, that one, no mathematician will mark you right. You can't start a journey. Now you are all now in the same country. You can start a journey from Ghana westwards. That is, you are heading towards Togo, and you go and arrive somewhere and call it Cote d'Ivoire or Burkina Faso. So once you are heading towards the wrong direction, your procedure is wrong. Your destination you are calling Burkina Faso is also wrong. But if you are moving up west, if you are moving up north, Burkina Faso is north of Ghana. Then you go and stop at Navrongo and you call it Burkina Faso. For the good attempt of moving from Accra northwest, you score marks. But your destination you are calling Burkina Faso is what will be wrong. That is how it is normally done. So the procedure is right, the answer is right, you score your full mark. Procedure is right, the answer is wrong, you score part of the mark. Procedure is wrong, answer is right, everything is wrong. So usually, if this question, for instance, should take like 4 marks, the procedure alone, if you do the substitution very well, this alone can take you like 3 marks or 3.5. Then the answer will just take either 1 mark or 0.5. So this is where you have to concentrate well. You don't do anything and claim you have the right answer. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Please, my question is concerning the calculator. Do we have different calculators that can, give us different answers?
That's a nice question.
The reason I asked this question is this calculation you were doing. You said if we add it all on our calculator, it will give us the answer. I added it, but I got the wrong answer from yours. That is what I'm asking.
Okay. Assuming
Sorry, good evening. I also have a similar thing, and that's exactly what I want to.
Very
My
good.
answer was 23.5. I don't know
For
what
which one?
my lady also had.
For which one?
Thank you. For the 20.5, the L plus FM, the longer one, where we have the L as 20.5 plus 10 minus 7 over
there's
the
also
10
more.
minus 7 plus 10. Or the mean. Is that the mean? Yeah.
And me for the median, this particular question, I got
I think for the
31
media,
points.
yes. That's, okay, me, the other, the 5 instead of the 22.5. I want to, whether it is my calculator that is not giving me the right thing, or the calculation there, maybe we've not calculated it well. I want to, so that we can reach it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I remember vividly one of the lecture notes I used earlier. One of these figures, the calculation was wrong. The answer was wrong. But the 23 point something you are mentioning must also be wrong. The 23 point something you are mentioning is also wrong. It's rather unfortunate I don't have calculator here. I would have. Okay, so I wanted to share these slides immediately. But if you are having that challenge, it means I have to recalculate it and be sure that I'm giving you the right thing. However,
Yeah.
what is here is correct. Okay.
Please, can we go back to see the first one, please?
Okay. The Macola ones. Yeah. Which one is giving you the problem? Is it this one that you're having problem with?
No, the other one, the first one, please.
Yes, this one.
Is the first.
To
Please,
the
can we
best
go
of
to
my
the first
knowledge,
one, please?
one of
I'm
them
having
had a
problem with
problem,
this one.
which I corrected and shared. But I don't know whether I deleted that slice.
This one is correct. For this one,
Uh-huh.
there is correct. The one you are showing there
I'm
is okay.
I'm looking at the
What
second
about
one,
this?
please.
The
This is the one that I'm talking about, please.
Okay, so let's all calculate it. Let's all calculate it just in a minute and a half.
Hello, sir.
So it's correct.
Sir.
I got
Yes.
22.3. 375.
Okay, so I don't know
Yeah.
about mine.
I
I'm
think
using the number.
sorry, I think it's correct.
Yeah.
There was an error with mine. The last one, the 10 plus 3, I made it 10 minus 3. Sorry for that.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So with a normal calculator, I don't know if they used a scientific one, else I stand to be corrected. With a normal one, I got 217. I don't know how they did the calculation, but per what I did, I got 217. So the numerator is 10 minus 7, which is 3, divided by 16. Am I right? That's how I did it. So I'm just taking you through the steps for me to be corrected.
Okay.
3 minus 16. So 3 minus 16, then I added 20.5 to 8.
No,
No.
you're not making
Yeah,
good use of
you did board math
the
before.
mathematical rules. You do board
Yeah.
It's both
math.
math. Okay, okay,
So brackets,
okay.
you deal with brackets,
Then you go
brackets
to,
of what? Aha. You do
yeah,
multiplication before you
division.
go to addition. Yes.
Yes. Oh, okay. Now I get it. Thank you.
Yeah. So whether you use Macaulay calculator or you use scientific calculator, you get the same answer. The good news about the scientific calculator is you can input everything straight away and it will give you the answer. Any other question?
Mine deals with the decimal point.
Okay.
Yeah. When I did I got 22.375 instead of 175 yours. So I wanted to know where the issue is coming from.
Okay. Maybe, well, how did you do yours too? Is it this one?
Yeah, this one.
So how did you do yours too?
So as you have
Take
already
us through the
done.
steps.
Okay, so the 20.5 plus that is what do you call it? The same as I don't know how to. Is it expanding in terms of you work on the top one, that is the 10 minus 7
Okay.
all over. Then bracket 10 minus 7 again plus 10 plus 3 then times 10.
You input it like that on the calculator straight away.
Yes, like as you have done it, I input it on the calculator as
Okay.
you are the same thing on a.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
Yes, I also got the same thing.
Exactly.
I got the same thing as well.
375. That's point.
22.375.
Okay. So the problem is with the decimal side, 375 and they wrote 175. Okay.
Yes.
All noted. So maybe you can even change that one handwritten, or I'll see if I can still do it before I share the slides. That's the mode. Or I remember this very thing in one of the previous classes. So I corrected it before I shared. I don't know why I mistakenly go for the same slide again. Any other? Okay. So the same.
Well, it's going down well, but I don't know if it is not time and you just will be able to just go through this for once and just the one we just did. You'll be able to go take us through it again. That will be fine.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yes, ask your question.
Yeah, I want to find out the test we just did. Will you take us through, most especially with the area of the calculations? Because what I did, I realized the answers it gave is a bit different from what I got, and then so I would need. I don't know if you'll be taking us through, so that in the future, if it should come, we'll be able to provide the right answers. Thank you. That's from my side. Thank you.
True.
Hello, Madam Christiana.
Yes, please.
Yeah, earlier we discussed this issue, and some of our colleagues will be writing after the lectures. So the answer from the facilitator is it will be discussed thereafter. not now, after everybody has written. Thank you.
Thank
The
you.
site
I
is
don't mean
closed
now. I
already.
don't
The
mean now.
site is closed.
I don't mean now, please. It
Ah,
will be
okay.
in.
He accepted. He accepted discussing it with the class thereafter. That is after the anytime after the link is closed. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hello. Hello.
Hi.
We are
Uh-huh.
here. We
Hi.
are here.
Okay. Um. Yeah. So I think we've answered all questions. So that problem, we'll solve that problem after anytime after today. Okay. We talked about mean. We are now climbing the ladder small with standard deviation and variance. All right. So this is your data. Maybe these are the ages of your patients. These are the weights of your patient. These are the whatever of the patients. So we want to play around this data. So here we are talking about the mean of a group data, because if we want to add all these numbers, 1111, 41 plus 67 plus all this, you do that and up to 60 and divide by the number of them. That would be too tedious. That would be too tedious. That is why we want to group them and estimate. So we say the mean of the group data. What we are going to do is not anything new. We have it's the same thing in a different slide. So the mean is for summation f of x by summation f. We talked about this earlier. This is the almighty standard deviation. This one too, I'll give you the formula. You know what your x is. You know what bar x is. Bar x is what? Your mean. You know what your n is.
Yes.
You know the summation f.
Yes.
So this is the standard deviation.
Deviation. Okay.
Good. We now have this data. So this is kind of trying to summarize everything. We have this data. We are talking about weights of the patients, which ranges from 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, up to 80 to 89. The class boundaries are, we know my 20 minus 0.5 gives you 19.5. 29 plus 0.5 gives you 29.5. So you have all this here. Then you go for the class midpoint. You add 20 to 29 and divide by 2. You have this. 30 to 39 divided by 2, you have 34.5. You do like that up to 80 plus 89 divided by 2, you have 84.5. These are the class midpoints. Now we want to find the frequency. That is, we want to tally this data. When we see 41, we will come and put a stroke against 41. This 41 belongs here. So we'll put a stroke here. Then we go again. The next number is 67. So where is 67? 67 belongs to this class. So we'll put a stroke there. We'll be doing for all the numbers like that, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And if you do it correctly, you will have, for the first class, you will have 5, 5, and 2. That gives you 12. For the second class, you have 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. And 5 by 5, that is 25. For the third class, you have 5, 5, 5 plus 3, making 18. Remember, the fifth one is what we use to cross the first set. The next set, when you get to the fifth one, you cross. Now you come here, you have 5, 5 plus 1, that gives you 11. The next one, you have only 5 plus 2, that gives you 7. The next one, there is only 5, so you put your 5 there. The next one, there are only 2, put your 2 there. Then you add everything under frequency, you have 80, which means all the numbers here are 80. Let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is exactly 80 numbers. So when you sum your frequency, you should get 80. Then we are going for f of x. Now remember, when you find the class midpoint, the class midpoint becomes the x. So we are using 12 to multiply 24.5. We have 294. We are using 34.5 to multiply 25. We have 862.5. We use 44.5 to multiply 18. We have 801. We multiply 54.5 by 11. We have 599.5. We do that up to the last one, 84.5 times 2. We have 169. So you sum everything under f of x. You sum everything under f of x. That gives you 3550. 3550. Try your hands on that one. Let's be double sure you are getting it before I move to the next one.
Mr. Mevabuji, please can you mute your mic?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the effects are okay.
It's correct. It's exactly correct. It's correct.
Mr. Imadodu. Mr. Imadodu,
Madam,
please mute your mic.
sorry.
Okay, sir. The only error is x minus the mean squared, the summation. I got 3,517.64, but we have here 61. And you can even see from
I
the.
didn't ask you to do that one. We are going systematically.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. And the
you have
Makujam.
reached the three.
I
Understand
only
this?
asked you to
Sorry.
do up to 3,550.
And that one
Okay,
is
sir, please. We are done. Yes, we are done. After that one is correct. We are done.
You all got the midpoints correctly. You all got the frequencies correctly. As for the frequencies, you are using what is here. By f of x, I want you to multiply 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Then after that, you add and confirm that you have 3,550.
That one is correct, sir.
Okay. Now, if you are done with that, this thing, if you get the formula, all that you have to do is to follow what the formula is saying. We are coming from inside the bracket, so we now need x minus bar x. And we know bar x to be the mean. So it means this is our x, and our bar x is what? We calculated the mean to be what? We didn't calculate the mean, eh? Okay, so the mean is here. 3,550. So calculate the mean. Let's be sure that you are getting the mean. We know the mean is the total of this, I mean the 3,550 divided by 80. Do it, let's see what mean you are getting.
Okay. 44.375.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hi.
I can't hear anything again.
Yes, please, because he's here to speak
I
again.
asked you to calculate the mean. I asked you to calculate the mean and give me your answers.
Oh,
And
we are
We
are
have
done.
saying
done with it. We gave you the answer.
the mean is summation f of x divided by this. What did you get?
44.375.
You got the same.
44.375. Yes.
Approximately 44.38.
Yeah.
Okay. So this step is saying that wherever you see
Sir,
X, okay.
So please, the X minus what's the name? The one that gives the final one as 3517.61. You know,
We are not there. We are not there.
Oh, we are not
just
getting there. Okay, sorry.
So you have all calculated X bar, the mean. You have all calculated the X bar, which is what? 44.38.
0.3.
Yes.
You all got the same answer. So now this step is saying that wherever you see X, subtract them by X, which is the mean. And it's what? 44.38. So our X is here 24.5. 24.5 minus 1.3. So wherever you see X, this is another X, this is another X, this is another X, this is another X. So wherever you see X, you are subtracting 44.38 from it. So you are subtracting 44.38 from this, from this, from this, from this, from this, from this, and from this. So do it and confirm that you have the same answers here. That's the meaning of X minus X bar. X minus X bar. Do that one here, this column. We are now here. Don't jump ahead and be asking questions. Do exactly what I asked you to do.
Sir, please, for the group 40 to 49, the class midpoint 44.5. If you subtract the mean, which is 44.38, you're supposed to get 0.12, but you have 0.13 here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
From here.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. You said you got what?
0.12.
No, what I got is
not 13.
I got 0.123. So you run it off and it will be 0.13.
If you got, if you even got 1, 2, 3, it means it's 0.2, 0.12. But we are using 44.38. Unless Sir wants us to use the full figure, which is the 44.375.
What did you use?
If you use, for example, the last figures there, 84.5 minus the 84.5 minus the offense 44.38, you get 40.12, not 13. That is what we are talking about.
Yeah, so please, from the 44.5, 54, all of them, the 1313 is supposed to be 121212.
Yeah,
All
also
of them
should be
should be
1 to
1
1
2. Yes, please.
From here, all of them should be 1 2 and not 1 3.
Yes, please.
Okay, that's fine. The most important thing is no, don't worry, don't worry.
Okay.
The most important thing is we know how to go about it. This is telling you that subtract X bar from X. So we know X we calculated x bar already. So you subtract it from its one after the other to here. Now, the next step is saying that what we have done here, which is x minus x bar, we should square it. Square it. Square it. So it means 19.88 squared will give you this. Neg 9.88 squared will give you this. So do the same thing for this column to cross-check what is there. Normally, I use computer. I just instruct the computer to do this thing. I don't do it one by one. And if you have one-to-one to there, I can just go through and do the correction.
Okay, sir. Sir. So,
Mama Kate.
I'm having issue. I don't know whether you are maintaining the minus.
You don't know whether
the negative 19.88. And if you look at the equation given, the x minus the mean square. I don't know whether the minus there no minus, or you are supposed to use just one, because I see negative 19 there, and negative will become positive.
Okay, once you square a negative, you get a positive.
That's fine. Take it again. Okay, listen again. X minus x bar, we got negative 19.88. So we're only squaring negative 19.88. That's all.
Okay, that's fine.
In other words, negative 19.88 times another negative 9.88.
Okay.
We are squaring all the answers here and put the squares here. When you square this, you put the answer on the right side. When you square this, you put the answer here. When you square this, you put the answer there, in that order. We are not adding, we are not subtracting.
My dog.
Sure.
Please, the first one, the 19.88. When I did it, I had 395.21.
214. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but your own there is 395.02.
The most important thing is to know the procedure. Don't worry about that one.
All right, thank you.
And so are the rest too. The next one too was 97, or it's 97.614. I think it follows in that order.
Okay. Hello. Yeah. Good evening. Hello. Blenya Street. I'll be no real no packaging. My Baba Gecho. My Baba Gecho. Okay. But the class time, don't worry. Okay. Right. Are there any issues again? Now, can we move on?
Yes, please.
Differences. This whole thing, don't worry, I'll use computer and do it again. But once you understand it, you should go and do it correctly. Now, the next step is saying that you use f to multiply the square of x minus x bar. So we have x minus x bar here. So this one is x minus x bar. So what is the corresponding f? F is 12. So we are using this 12 to multiply
by 395 points.
And then we'll put the answer in the right hand side. We use 25 to multiply this, we put the answer here. We use 18 to multiply this, we put the answer there. So let's do that one too quickly and see.
FS.
Okay.
Let's see.
Are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when you see the formula, just take it from inside. From inside. So now we are using the frequency to multiply the square of what is in this bracket. We use the frequency to multiply. After that, this sign tells you that add everything. Add everything. So we are adding everything under this column. We are adding everything under this column. And when you add it, let's see. Okay, that's what you have here. 18, 898.75. Are we all having the same answer? Anyway, because of the small differences, you are not supposed to have the same answers.
Check out with someone who will use their salary to teach us. Dr. Pierre.
Okay. Don't worry. It's step by step. It's good you are all able to practice. So when we have that formula, we know how to play around it. We have all that. I'll okay, let's see what. Okay, so you do the substitution. We got it correctly. So the standard deviation, if we did this very correctly, then this is our standard deviation, 18.898.75 divided by n, which is 80. And when you divide, you take the square root of it. When you take the square root, you're having 15.37 as your standard deviation. Any question? We'll end it as standard deviation. Five minutes more. Some people have their brain already hot.
Doc,
Yeah.
so in a nutshell, what is a standard deviation?
You want to add more fire?
No, I just want to, in simple term, I just want to know what all the calculations we've done about standard deviation, I just want to know what it is in brief term. Thank you.
That's fine. Who can help us? Any idea? Have you tried to read about it? Okay, I'll leave that to you as an assignment. Find out what standard deviation means and add variance, standard deviation and variance. So when we meet next time, you take the lead and explain to us what is standard deviation, what exactly are we talking about, and what is variance. Maybe you want to know, that's variance. That's a spelling of variance. The standard deviation, in fact, when you calculate 18,898.75 divided by 80 without taking the square root of it, whatever answer you get is the square root. So when you find square root of the variance, you get standard deviation. So this whole thing without the square root is the variance. Now, when you do all this, you get 15.37. That's your standard deviation. If you have the standard deviation, you have to find the variance. Just square this answer. 15.37 square is the variance. When you are given the variance and you have to find the standard deviation, you just find the square root of this variance and you have standard deviation. That's how they are related. So go and find what it means to say a variance of a set of data and a standard deviation of a set of data. Let's use that to start next week's lecture. So next week, there will not be any quiz. My intention is that we'll do as many quiz as we can. And mind you, what we have done so far, after next week lecture, the next one, questions will come on it. So it's good you practice it. If you want me to bring you another quiz on what we've done today, that will be fine. It will make you grab it and you'll be surprised. Maybe you think if I add the next lecture before the quiz, it will be too much for you. So if you want a quiz on only this one, I can do that. Maybe you do some 15 minutes quiz before we start the next lecture? What do you suggest? Another lecture before quiz, or quiz on this one only?
Yes, sir. Defense investigation.
This one.
Okay, so discuss it with your class rep and let me have the feedback by end of day tomorrow. If you want another lecture before the quiz, no problem. If you want the quiz on this one, I'll set it. We do it some 15 minutes before the next lecture. But next week, if we have to do the quiz, we will not waste too much time like this, like we did today.
This one we have to go through before, and so you give us time to go through and then we can do the quiz.
So I leave that to you. Your class rep will talk to me tomorrow. On that note, I don't want us to go beyond the 10 p.m. So we'll end it here.
So I have a plea. When are you having the slides posted?
Yes, I want to see if I can do the corrections and send them. I would have sent them right
Okay,
now,
because
but since we identify a few mistakes, I will have to correct and reshare.
because there were many a time I couldn't have the slide that you were sharing. I had that challenge. That's why I'm feeling that it could be sent earlier so that we can go through. Thank you.
That's fine. But I hope you got mine because I put mine on the page.
Yes, sir. We got all of it.
That's fine. And the questions that came directly from all.
Good night. Bye.
You mounted for me, bye. Okay.
Oh, sir, it's already gone. Good night.
Yeah,
He's
hello.
gone.
Hello,
He's
so
gone.
bye bye.
Good night to you
He's
all.
gone.
Those who haven't done